Libra, welcome to your weekly horoscope for April 27th to May 3rd, 2026. My name's Adina. I'm an intuitive astrologer. Libra, this week is about depth, emotional, financial, and psychological. Not the kind you can smooth over or intellectualize your way through, but the kind that asks for honesty, vulnerability, and real transformation. Because what's unfolding now is a shift in how you share your energy, your resources, and your power. On April 28th, we have Venus and Gemini forming a trine to Pluto in Aquarius. This is activating your ninth house of expansion, your belief systems and higher perspective, and your fifth house of creativity, romance, and self expression. This is powerful alignment between what you believe and how you express yourself. This is you feeling creatively and intellectually activated, having conversations that shift your perspective, or experiencing something that expands your sense of what's possible. You may feel more confident expressing your ideas, your truth, and your vision. This is where your voice becomes magnetic. You do have to be careful of forcing a belief system or trying to convince others or even yourself of something that doesn't fully resonate, or using charm to influence rather than to express truth. You don't need to perform your beliefs, you need to live them. Because when your expression is rooted in truth, it naturally draws the right opportunities and people toward you. And then on April 29th, we have Venus and Gemini forming a T square to the lunar nodes, the South Node in your 12th house of the subconscious, past patterns, and hidden dynamics, and the North Node in your 6th house of work, routine, and daily life. This is a karmic crossroads between escape and responsibility. This is you recognizing where you may have been avoiding something, whether that's a responsibility, a routine, or even a reality that requires your attention. You may notice patterns of procrastination, distraction, or emotional avoidance that are no longer sustainable. And the North Node is calling you forward into discipline, into structure, into showing up consistently for your life. But you do have to be careful of staying in your comfort zone, escaping into fantasy, distraction, or avoidance instead of taking action. You need to ask yourself, is this helping me grow or helping me hide? Because your future is built through what you do consistently, not what you avoid. Then we get to May 1st, and this is the emotional peak of the week because we have our full moon in Scorpio, which is activating your second house of money, self worth, and personal values. This is a culmination around your value. This is you seeing where you've been undervaluing yourself, where your financial situation needs adjustment, or where your sense of worth has been tied to something external. This is empowerment. However, you do have to be careful of fear or scarcity mindset or emotional reactions around money or self worth. You may feel triggered, but it's because something deeper is being revealed. This is your opportunity to shift your relationship with value from fear to alignment. Now, also on the same day, we have Venus in your ninth house, forming a sextile to Saturn in your seventh house of relationships and partnerships. This is grounding your expansion through connection. This is you connecting with people who align with your vision, who respect your growth, and who help you stay grounded in your expansion. This is where your relationships become stabilizing, not limiting. But you do have to be careful of doubting support, holding back from fully opening up because of fear or past experiences. You need to trust the connections that feel aligned because not everyone is meant to hold space for your growth, but the right ones will. And then we get to May 2nd, and we have Mercury entering Taurus, and this is activating your eighth house of shared resources, intimacy, and transformation. This is a shift inward. After a week of emotional clarity around your value, this is where you begin to think more deeply about how you share your energy, your finances, and your emotions. This is strategic thinking. This is you making grounded decisions around investments, shared finances, and emotional commitments. This is depth with intention. But you do have to be careful of overthinking or fear of vulnerability or trying to control outcomes instead of trusting the process. You need to stay grounded but open because transformation requires both. Libra, this week is about value, responsibility, and emotional truth. You are being asked to release patterns of avoidance, to step into a more grounded version of yourself, and to redefine what you truly value, both within yourself and in your external world. And that requires honesty because you cannot build stability if you're avoiding what needs to be addressed. Libra, this week isn't just about change, it's about accountability to your growth.